Greetings, brother.
Yeah, man, we say.
Welcome.
Good.
Blessed and love.
Thanks, same to
Welcome
you.
back to the Milestone Manhood podcast. I got my brother Jordan here again today. Jordan, second time lucky.
Second time lucky.
Hopefully we get it right this time.
We'll get it done.
So today we're talking about, are men intimidated by successful women? And it's an interesting topic because I've had it with many guys, and everybody says no. But when you look at the kind of relationships they have or shy away from, it suggests the opposite. So where do you sit on that?
Well, I think the first and obvious answer is some men are.
Right.
I'd probably even go further to say I think most men are intimidated by successful women. I'll personalize it first, and then I'll kind of extrapolate it wider. Me personally, I think I was.
Right.
I think when I was younger, I liked a particular type of woman slash girl, and it would be a woman that I knew I could get away with what I wanted to get away with, and that I could dominate, and that I could, and not dominate in a kind of
domineering way.
but dominate in the sense of I can manipulate and I can get my way. Do you know what I mean? I could have my cake and eat it. So I can have a good woman and I can have all that, but I could also go along and just go out and party and come home and do what I want. And a strong woman ain't gonna have that. The strong woman says, okay, this is a relationship, this is a partnership, and as such, there are certain things you can't do now.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? And when you're younger, when I was younger anyway, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. You want to go raving. You want
your freedom.
Sport. You want your freedom. So I think when I was younger, 100%, I was threatened by a strong girl, because I'm talking teens, late teens kind of time, maybe early 20s. As I got older, I understood and appreciated and valued the importance of a strong woman, because I think the reason why a lot of men and most men are intimidated by strong women is because they feel like it takes away from them
their manhood.
Do you know what I mean? If you're strong, then I must be weak, and that's clearly foolishness. And not only is it foolishness, it's actually to some degree the opposite. I think a strong woman makes you stronger.
That was going to be my next question to you, but carry on.
I think that's the way it is. I think that if you're with someone that is strong, a woman, what she wants to do is empower you. She doesn't want to make you weaker, because by definition also she doesn't want to be with a weak man. So as well as her maintaining her strength of character and personality, she wants to impart that in her man. So we're making each other stronger. So I think that a lot of men are threatened by strong women because they have this idea that, you know, if she's as intelligent as I am, or as ambitious as I am, or as hardworking as I am, then I'm somehow inferior, and that for me is nonsense. But you only get that, I think, once you get older, once you grow, once you learn, and once you mature.
I mean, you say older, but when we look at, so let's take the issue of finance, right? So we know a lot of women make a lot more money than men nowadays in today's society, and we know the issue of manhood or masculinity. And for some old men who were raised old school, you know, you're the breadwinner, you're supposed to do all these things in the home, you're supposed to provide, you're supposed to take care of your woman. And if your woman is actually doing that job, I mean, I've read a book, and the author was talking about, you know, we go out, we find a girl, we meet a woman, and she's got her own house, she's got her own job, or her own business, she provides her own food, she already has children, right? So you as a man,
what do I bring to the table?
What are you bringing to the table? So what do you think about those types of situations and some men going into that type of situation?
I think these kind of men are in trouble. I think they're in serious trouble, because if their mentality is that she has all the things that traditionally a man should be bringing to the table, and she already has them kind of things, wherefore what's my worth? Then you have to do some internal work in yourself in what you're offering the world, let alone offering a woman. My mindset is this: if I meet a woman who is intelligent, who is strong, who earns good money / more money than I do,
Makes your life easier, right?
it makes my life easier. It makes my life easier for sure. She's taking me out for dinner, and I've got expensive taste, so you know what I mean. I'm not no cheap date. It makes my life easier, but also it makes me have to step up and internalize what my strengths are.
That's the key point.
Do you know what I mean?
That's the key point.
Because if it no longer becomes as superficial and as you know, bottom shelf as, oh, I can afford to take her out for dinner, I can buy her this, and I can take her on holiday. It becomes, okay, she's got all those things, so maybe I've got to make her laugh.
Yep.
Maybe I've got to, my sense of humour has to be the thing that she wants from me. Maybe I have to impart wisdom and experience. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I have to be a reliable and trustworthy pillar in her life. She may have all the money in the car and the house and a kid, all those kind of physical and aesthetic things, but maybe what she's lacking is someone that she trusts, someone that she can rely on.
She doesn't have a man.
Exactly. So my mindset would then go to, I'm kind of having this with someone that I'm interested in at the moment, who actually is very powerful, very intelligent, very experienced. She's fantastic. My mindset then goes to, okay, so what am I bringing to the table? Jordan, check yourself. What are your? Because I have a lot to offer.
Right.
So I have to then tap into that pool of
Jordanness.
And bring. Okay, that's something that I think you're lacking. I can bring that to your life.
Okay.
And she'll notice it. She'll notice it because if there's no one in her life that she sees as a pillar of strength and trustworthy and reliableness, and I come in and bring that, she'll notice that.
100%.
So I'm bringing something to the table.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So I don't look at it as just because you've got all of those things, what can I bring? I'm useless. No, I look at it as, okay, what can I bring? You have all those things. That's fine. I'm going to bring this, this, and this.
So I think from the outside looking in, like yourself, you know, I'm married to. My wife comes from a family of powerful women, highly intelligent, successful in their field, and have created, you know, a great family structure. When I'm talking about my wife's grandmother, she built her own law firm where the whole family's benefited from. Mom's a lawyer. Don't kill me if I get this wrong, baby. My mother-in-law is a prosecutor. Yes.
There you go.
Yes, and my wife was raised like that. You see what I'm saying? So when I met my wife, she already had a master's. She was doing another one. You know what I mean? She's built one company. She's building another one now. Yeah. You know what I mean? And when I met her, I was very much like, "What do you want to do?" Because she didn't want to do law. So I was like, "What do you want to do?" And she said she wants to do this. I said, "Okay, that's what you're gonna do." You know what I mean? She didn't need me to tell her how to do law. She just needed me to hold up a mirror and say, "Look, this is you. This is what you need to do. This is what your focus is. This is what your passion is, and it could turn into your purpose. So do that. You know, we'll figure out the rest."
Indeed.
You know what I mean? And that's what happened. And you know, that was early days. And 4 years after that, 3 years after that, we got married. You know what I mean? And that's what I think men should be more secure in their manhood.
Totally.
Because if your whole thing is based on what you can actually physically provide or financially provide, then you're gonna struggle.
Of course you are.
You're gonna struggle, especially in a city like London. You know what I mean? With the type of women that you're probably thinking of. You know, oh, she's nice. You know, she's alright. She don't need you for those things. So you need to be providing for her internally.
Of course.
And I think that's what it is. But moving on to the next thing now. So if you were dating, and this is a tricky question for a man like you, black academics and all of these things. So I always knew I wasn't going to marry and I'm gonna get in trouble. So I'm probably shouldn't do that.
It's on you, bro. You
to
yourself.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because I know I'm gonna get in trouble, too much trouble, and I can't take it. So So just moving on from the aspect of powerful women and successful women and what women bring to the table. So what do you look for in a woman when you're looking for a woman?
So just on briefly your previous point, I think that's a good point you made about maybe having that conversation early on.
No, first up.
Do you know what I mean?
There's
nothing wrong in saying to your on the first or second date, asking the person, what do you want?
Yeah. 100%.
What is it that you want?
100%.
Because there's nothing wrong with that, because then from early on you establish, okay, so she wants this, and she's not interested in, she already has this, that, and that. Okay, so can I help her get this, and this? Okay, cool. She might just say, I want a man that, I don't want a man to pay for nothing, I want a man that just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
So okay, cool, she wants laughter.
Just want companionship.
Right. So I know from here going forward, I know that whatever I need to do with this woman is, she wants to be made to laugh. 100%. She wants good companionship. 100%. To provide that.
It's like, I'll give you, I don't mean to cut you, but I'll give you an example. There was a time I was in Brixton and I bought a blue rose and I thought my missus would love it, right? Or forget that one, I bought a handbag, but I bought a big handbag and my missus is quite petite, so she likes small handbags. So I was kind of, how come you ain't using the handbag then? You know what I mean? She did when she was going to school, but then she didn't need it for school anymore. You know, so it's very much like what you're saying. If you meet a girl and she wants laughter and you're bringing her all these expensive gifts, it's not what she wants.
Communicate.
You know what I mean? It's communication.
Of course
and it's very much like what you're saying. There's kind of a relationship decorum that you're supposed to on early dates. You're not supposed to talk about too many heavy topics and all of that stuff.
But you go straight in.
No. I don't use that book.
Interesting.
You know, I need to know straight away as soon as first date you're gonna chill. Yeah. You know what I mean? But even on my first date, I'll ask deep questions.
Okay.
If it's even one or two. Okay. I'll ask deep questions. When I go away from that, I'm not dating. I'm a grown man, so I'm not dating you to hang out. I'm looking for a life partner, right? And that's why, you know, the whole topic of, are men intimidated by successful or powerful or highly intellectual women? You know what I mean? This is how you know. If you go on your first date and you're kind of, you know, pussyfooting around the point,
you waste time.
You're wasting time. You're wasting your time, her time. You're busy people. You've got life to live, and it's important that you know, okay, what are we about?
And
women
what
like
we're working
to know that
towards.
as well. Women like to know.
They do.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you just playing?
They do.
Because you know, we live in London. How many players here?
Indeed. I ain't got time to mess around with you. Sorry, I didn't answer your initial question. Remind me again what your question was.
Which question?
I went back to your previous point, but you'd asked me a question.
I forgot that question.
Sorry, that was really bad of me. It was about me, something about me and what I
know. What are you looking for when you look for women?
What I'm looking for now is something, as with most people, as I'm assuming, is what they were looking for 10, 15, 20 years ago. So for me, the aesthetics of a woman are less important. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, oh, how she looks is not important. That's nonsense. We're attracted to people who we like the look of. So that's
visual.
Of course. I have a type, as everyone does, but that's lower down the list now of priorities for me. What I'm looking for someone, and I thought about this the last few years, love aside, the single, for me, and this kind of applies to business and friendship and other areas of your life, but if we're talking about relationship and dating, love to one side, the single most important thing, I think, for a relationship is someone that you can rely on. I need to know that me and you are together, and I know you, and I know how, exactly, I can trust you. There are other things that are important as well, but I've increasingly seen the thing that is the most important thing for me with the woman that I need to know that I can rely on you.
She's reliable.
I can trust you. And you're reliable. I know when you're in a bad mood, it won't go so far that I know when you're in a I just know you. Do you know what I mean? I need to know that.
It's fun as well, you know, bro. It's fun. It's good. I mean, I can only speak from my perspective. So when we were in Jamaica getting married, there was an issue, and my grandmother-in-law was in the front of the car, my wife was in the back. She got a phone call, and straight away I knew what she was going to do. So I said it. Right? So she jumped out of the car, and I said to my grandmother-in-law at the time, I said, she's going to cry, and she's hurt right now, right? And she looked at me, she said, how do you know? I said, I know her mannerisms. And she just looked at me and go, oh.
You know her. You know that woman, and she knows you.
I can call her and I say, you have a headache now, don't you? And I'll tell you how I know. Because if my wife goes through the day for 4 hours and she doesn't eat or
I'm
drink,
like that as well.
she has a headache. And if the day's too long, so say she's out till 9 o'clock. I know she's probably eaten once because that's how she is, and I know she's tired. And when she gets tired, she has a headache. And when she gets a headache, she gets emotional. So I'll call her up and I go, you need to come. because I know how you feel. And she go, all right, and she'll come home, and then I know what to do, and she gets home.
And that for me is really important. It's really important that the next woman, if there's a next woman that I date, get on with, I hope there is, it's important that she understands me and that I understand her. Because I think a lot of people break up and get divorced. Money, other things get in the way, of course. Yeah. But I think fundamentally it's because, do you really know her?
Yes.
Do you really know him? Yeah.
Yes.
And it's that understanding of each other that I think is essential. Yeah. And I need to know that I'm with someone that I know, and I can rely on you to. Bad times are going to happen, but I can rely on you that we can get through this.
100%.
So for me, I'm looking for someone that gets me. Yeah. I want someone that understands me, understands when I need to be left alone, and when I need to be tested, and when I need to be.
I tell you what, though, that whole being left alone thing is a process.
Okay, takes time. Yeah.
Yes, this is a process. I'll tell you what, because your partner is gonna, if you're quiet. So say you're quiet watching football or whatever, you're just quiet. She's going to want to know if you're okay. And she's going to ask you. And you're going to say, yeah, I'm fine. But you're not saying anything else. You're okay. That's because you just want to be left alone, right? She doesn't know that. She thinks something's wrong.
Okay.
Right? So she's going to go, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm cool.
And she'll walk away. And then she'll come back. And she said, but you don't look okay.
I've had that.
And you'll go,
I'm fine.
No, I'm good. Fine. So what I start doing now, I give a disclaimer. I say, okay, baby, it's quiet time now.
Okay, so she knows nothing's wrong.
She won't ask me.
Just leave me alone. Yeah. And that's important. That for me probably is the most important thing. I just want a woman that knows me, knows when I'm really, when I'm happy,
and she
when I'm sad.
She'll ask.
I'm sure she will. I'm sure she will. So that for me is what I am personally looking for. I'm looking for a woman, ambition, hardworking, independent, all those things are important to me. But the most important thing for me now is a woman. I know Jordan. I know when he's happy. Trust me, he's happy. Leave him. He doesn't look happy. There's enough time, people look at me and they're like, you don't look happy. And I'm like, these times I'm really happy about something, and vice versa. Sometimes I might not look pissed off, but I'm vexed. So, but the one person, probably apart from your mum, that knows, like, no, I know Jordan. Trust me,
he's alright.
He's fine.
Or he's upset.
Exactly. And that for me is what I'm looking for.
That compatibility.
And vice versa. I know when to leave you alone. It's like, you know what, let me just leave her, just give her some space. I can just tell she just needs some space. She'll come back and she'll be fine again.
It's like that old adage when people used to say, they can finish each other's sentences.
Yeah.
They know what they're going to say.
That synergy, I think, is so important. I think it's a real thing.
It's built up over time, though.
I was going to say that comes with time and work. Do you know what I mean?
And effort and understanding.
Yeah.
If you had to choose between love and respect, which would you choose? Ooh. So this is in the confines of a relationship.
Good question.
If you had to choose between love and respect,
I'd probably say respect. I'd probably say. I think I'd say respect.
That's the right answer.
I think I'd say
there's a wrong answer. So that's the right one.
I think I'd say respect. I think I'd prefer my partner respect me, because in a really perverse way, I think if you respect someone, there's a level of love. There's a level of love anyway. Whereas you can love someone but disrespect them. I think. You know what? As well, this might be controversial, but I don't think love is the be all and end all. I don't think love is the most important thing. Now I think about it.
Not for men, it isn't.
I don't think it is. I think
for women, it definitely is.
Yeah.
For men, it definitely is.
For me, as long as I can trust you, as long as you respect me, those are probably the two things I'd probably put before love. If I'm being honest, love is obviously important. But I don't. That's a really tough question. But I'd probably say respect.
I'm gonna give you a recommendation. There's a book called Love and Respect.
Okay.
Yeah, you should read that.
Okay, Love and Respect.
Love and Respect.
Okay, well, Google
and I'll tell you why I said that. Because we weren't designed to receive love. Like, love isn't our main kind of need. Respect is.
Okay.
It's from men and from women, especially within our relationship.
Okay.
What we need is to know that you respect me as your man. And your wife, your partner, definitely, it's not respect for them, it's love.
Okay.
All right, think about it. If you have a girlfriend, and I know you've heard this before, if you have a partner and you kind of step out, right? You've seen the movies, you see, they'll ask you, do you love her? Right? Why do you think they ask you that? Because they're not really too concerned. Well, they are, but that's not the main issue, the physical cheating. It's the actual emotional. So do you love her? And if you say yes,
problems.
That's it. There's no coming back from that. Yeah, there's no coming back from that. Because you've given your heart away. And that's what they want. That's for them. As far as they're concerned, your heart belongs to me.
Okay.
And if you give away your heart, your emotions, like if you're on the phone and you're talking to somebody how you don't talk to your missus, and it's a woman, it's a problem.
That's interesting.
It's a problem.
That's interesting.
So you go be very mindful, because women need that emotional security. They need that like air. Like if you're in a relationship, your wife, your partner needs to know all the time, as much as you can. I don't message my wife without saying I love you. I don't talk to, if I'm leaving the house, I love you. I come home, I love you, as much as I can, because that's what she needs. And if 2 days go, she'll tell me, but baby, you haven't told me you love me. She'll tell me, and I'll go, all right, sorry.
So on that, I wonder if, because going back to your initial topic, strong women, I wonder if for strong women, what's more important?
It's always love.
You think it's always love?
It's always love. It's always love. For women, it's always love. And it comes in various forms, different forms anyway. But they need that emotion. For the women, it's more emotional. It's a more emotional connection for them. For us, it's more of a respect thing. So because I love you, I do this, and this. And because you love me, you should do this, and this. You should take care of me in this, and this way. You know what I mean? And if I feel disrespected, then, I have to question your love. You see what I'm saying?
That's interesting.
Whereas for women, it's slightly different. It's more emotional.
I wonder if there's something in the difference between how black men receive strong women compared to other men. Do you know what I mean? And if so, what that is.
I have a friend.
Are black men more threatened?
100%. 100%. And that's probably because of how we were raised. That's probably because of our history. Like, we were definitely, like, in my growing up, it was always my grandfather going out working, coming home, putting the money on the table, going to the bar, drinking, and coming home. My grandmother take care of the home. That's how it was. In most families I knew growing up, that's how it was. That's how we were raised.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And even now, sometimes I get a little bit if my wife pays, right?
I'm funny about that as well.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm funny about that, yeah.
Sometimes I might not even have the money.
Yeah, but still.
You're not supposed to be paying. You see what I'm saying? So that we definitely struggle with that more. I have a friend who he's never dated a black woman in a proper relationship.
Is he black?
Yeah. But he's 100% threatened by especially successful black women, and he said as much, but not in a kind of humble way.
Yeah.
Like,
not for me.
Yeah. He's gone. No, they're too smart. No, they talk too much. No, they know too much. You see what I'm saying?
Dude, that's so problematic for me.
Yeah.
I find that so problematic.
We're not friends anymore.
Okay.
I think he's a waste man, to be honest.
I can't mess with that either. I mean, she's too smart.
Yeah, you said that. You'll say, so you'll go, oh, she's too.
That's one of the sexiest things for me.
What? Come on, bro.
That's one of the biggest turn-ons.
Come on, man. Come on. To have your wife, who's your partner, who is highly intelligent. You know what I mean? One of the best things for me is watching my wife learn something. So right now, if you call her, she's learning something. And she'll learn and learn and learn. She'll read all these books, no problem. You know what I mean? And if I go, I need to know about equality, and I don't know what it is. And I'll go, oh baby, can you, by the time I get home, she would have done it all. She knows. You know what I mean? If I'm building a website, and she does all my websites and everything, and she learns on the go. Okay. She's not a web designer, but she'll do all of that stuff. You know what I mean? But whatever she needs to know, she'll learn, and for me, that's super sexy. Come on now. But that brother, he's just very threatened by, he likes the type of woman he can, like you said when you were younger.
Yeah.
And he's near 50 now.
Yeah,
And,
no, that's not cool.
He likes the type of woman that he can manipulate.
You
see what I'm saying?
That's not sexy.
Yeah.
And I also think that I wonder how much it's changing amongst black men in our community about our perceptions of strong women. I wonder if he's the anomaly now, or if he's still the majority. And if a lot of men, in particular black men, were really honest, if they were really honest and you ask them, would you want your ideal partner to be a strong, independent, intelligent, successful woman? A lot of them would say yes, but I don't believe a lot of them. I don't believe a lot of them. When it comes down to it, and you're not earning the money, you're not the one in control, I think a lot of them would struggle.
You see, that's a problem though with your own identity as a man.
Of course it is.
And that's because of our own social upbringing. That's how we were raised. So we don't have enough confidence in ourselves as men to allow our women to be the best they can be. We always want to have a leg up.
Yeah.
We always want to either make the money. I've got friends who are very successful and married men, and he'll happily tell me, yeah, in my house I pay all the bills and I do this and I do that. I say, okay, so what's wrong with the missus' money then? You're acting like missus can't do that for herself. Yeah, but it's my house. I do this, I do that. You see what I'm saying? So even though it's two successful people in a relationship, there has to be some kind of hierarchy in terms of who's running this and who's running that. Me personally, I'm the man of my house, but that means something totally different to what
does that mean
people
to you?
think it is. So in my house, I lead, and I lead in terms of taking care of my wife emotionally, strengthening her, building her up, putting her up on a pedestal so that she knows, I lead in prayer, I lead in food, I lead in those sorts of things that she doesn't know about life, because I'm older than my wife, things that she doesn't know about life, I can teach her and bring her into those experiences, but in terms of, all these other things that are on the sides of relationships or finance, I genuinely don't care. I want her to be the best she can be. I gave my wife 2 directives, not in a sense like I can tell her what to do, but I gave her 2 directives. One is to take care of me, and the other one is to take care of her business. Those are the only 2 jobs my wife has. Okay. And that's because I have exactly the same 2 jobs. What I mean? So if I'm taking care of her and she's taking care of me, then we're good.
We're good, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm focused on making sure that she's okay, taking care of the needs that she has, not the things that I think she needs, but the things that I know she needs based on what she's told me, then she's good, right? And if she's doing exactly the same for me, then we don't have any issues.
I think it sounds to me like you've kind of come to a point of what I'm going through at the moment in terms of, and I've been doing a lot of work on this, the internal work as a man. So I've been single for a little while now, and you always kind of ask yourself, why am I single? And I know my flaws. I know my flaws. There's a pattern of things that the breakdowns in the relationships I've had have not always been all my fault, but some of them have been my fault. And you have to look and think of, okay, one of my things is I'm very argumentative. I love debating, and debate can turn into an argument. And I know that it's scared off a few women in the past, and I get that. So my learning thing is, okay, sometimes you have to understand that no matter how passionate about the subject you are, sometimes you kind of just got to let it go, because what you're doing is, and I remember one girl I was dating about 1.5 years ago. I could see visibly in her face that I was scaring her, and not scaring her in a way like I'm gonna get up and box her down, but scaring her in a way of like, you really won't let this go. Like you have to have the last word. It's like I don't want to scare anybody. So part of my learning and my internal work now is learning that there's a time for fierce, progressive, intelligent debate, and then there's time for like, okay, Jordan, you've been debating this now for half an hour. You're going in circles. You should not agree with you.
Do you know when you're going in circles?
I think I do, but I still want to try and convince her that what she's saying is wrong, and that in itself is kind of wrong.
It's a problem.
That's not good.
I'll tell you from a married man perspective. So I'm very much like you. I'm getting out of it now.
Okay.
I'm not, you have to be a little bit. You have to give yourself a little bit of slack as well, because all of this is learning, and within your relationship, you're gonna learn until you die. And that's what it is. I used to be very much like that. So I used to stick on the point and I would keep going for 2 hours.
We're not stopping until
I'm
you
not stopping
until you
till I'm
understand
sure
what I'm saying.
in my head, and even she would say, "Okay, baby,"
but you know she's not really got it.
Nah, you're not really saying what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And I'll keep going, and you see what I'm saying? And one time she said to me, "You know, we've been talking about this for 2 hours," and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like,
that's too long. If you're discussing it for 2 hours,
surely 2 hours is too long. If you're talking at me for 2 hours,
that's not a good thing.
Mind.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah, and it's very much like that. But you have to know that if you're in a relationship with an intelligent, articulate woman, it's not gonna take her 2 hours
to get it,
to understand what you're saying. So the fault is with me, and I have to be trusting enough to know that if I say, okay, the sky is blue, and she goes, okay, the sky is blue, and even if I don't believe that she understands what I'm saying, I have to trust that she understands what I'm saying, and even if she needs time to process, because my wife's very much like that, she needs time to process stuff, whereas I want the information, now, give it to me now. And if you take too long, I'm getting annoyed. So I'm also learning how to allow people to not to put expectations on my wife, you know, and not to judge her too strongly on what I think should be the right way to do things.
And that's what I do as well, and it's not good. You're right. Judging other people by A, your standards, and B, how you think they should think about a certain thing is wrong, and it clouds a lot of the positives that I bring to it. Because as a boyfriend, I think I'm a great boyfriend. I'm very generous, I'm very open, and going back to your topic, I'm more than happy for you to be more smarter than me, more successful than me. I don't have any problem with that. Like I say, that for me is a benefit. I'm like, bring it on. So I need to learn and do the internal work to identify the negatives, to be able to accentuate all the positives I bring. And one of the positives that I bring to a relationship is I'm more than happy for you to show off how smart you are. I'm more than happy for you to exert how powerful and strong, independent you are. I have no problem. I'm not threatened by that at all. In fact, the opposite, as I mentioned. It's a big turn on for me. So I think I'm at the point now where I'm doing that internal work in myself and thinking, the next woman you meet, making sure that at the bare minimum you learn the lessons from the past. Do you know what I mean? So if the next one does break down, cool, but it didn't break down because of previous mistakes. It broke down for something new. Do you know what I mean? There's no point. We need to learn as we go forward.
And it's not about breaking it down either, because like you said, in doing the internal work, I remember when I decided I wanted to get married, right? It was very much having made all of these mistakes and having looked at some of the women that I've heard. Remember, it's a good woman.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
I've let some good women go.
Good woman. And then I realized that, you know, there's nothing wrong with her. I was the problem.
Yeah.
You know, and then I did all of that work, you know, by myself. I just took the time I needed to take, and then I knew exactly what I wanted from a woman.
Okay.
I even knew how she looked.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
I knew how she looked. Not that has to be perfect, because like we say, everything is work in progress. And the beauty about finding somebody who is, you know, all of these things that the topic is suggesting, are we intimidated by all of these things? All of those things is what I wanted. You know, I remember having a conversation with a Bridget, and, you know, he asked me what I look for in a woman, and I gave him a list. You know, my wife was standing right there. Okay. And I gave him a list. I said, she has to be highly intelligent, she has to be ambitious, she has to be understanding, kind-hearted, and all of these things. And I told him, and he said, oh, and this is a very successful man. And he wasn't happy. He said he just wants a wife to take care of him. And that's it. You know, he'll do everything else. He'll pay for everything. And so he genuinely, black man, genuinely doesn't want a woman who wants to do anything with her life. Okay. Her life is for me.
She's subservient to him.
Subservient, 100%. That's all he wants. You know, and he's very much like that. The same Bridget was like, oh, you know, I can run faster than you. Come, let's go outside. And I looked at him. And I said, bro, you know what? I'm very comfortable with myself. You seem to have a few little insecurities. First of all, there's no way under the sun that you can run faster than me. It's impossible. But I don't need to prove that to you. Just be comfortable in that knowledge. So I'm looking at him like, what?
What's wrong with you?
You know where I'm coming from. You know how fast I've run in my life. Come on, man. So, but that's just to show you he's very insecure in a lot of ways. You know,
beyond women.
And beyond women, as an individual, he's just got so, and he's very, you know, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, I'm this. I've got this much money. Bro, why are you telling me how much money you got? I don't care. You know, so for him, having a highly successful, highly ambitious, he's one of those black men that you're referring to. That, you know, it's all about him, and he can talk about what he does for her all the time. And you know, it's I just can't with those types of guys.
And the thing is, he will find a woman, because there'll be women
he's a married man.
Well, there you go. But I don't think, this is my opinion, he will ever be truly internally happy.
No,
I don't think he will. I think he thinks he's happy, but this is not patronising him. I think he thinks he's happy, but I don't think you can be truly happy if your mindset is that you need someone else to serve you,
to validate you.
Exactly. It's like,
So that's not cool. And his wife can't be truly happy either.
Of course she's not. Of course she's not.
She's not being fulfilled.
Of course she's not. Of course she's not.
And that's what it is. So this whole conversation is something I'm looking to take broader, because within our community, I find that a lot of the brothers I know struggle. They struggle with this kind of conversation. You know, especially older guys. You know, younger, maybe a little bit more liberal, but you know, guys from 40 up, they struggle with this sort of thing. They do. Especially the single ones, because they want young girls. Yeah. And these young girls ain't having it.
They're not, because they've got jobs and careers and money, and they don't. You know what I mean? They're not having it. They're not having it at all.
They're not having it. So they're struggling with, you know, understanding that, you know, your purpose as a man is not purely based on your physical
what you can provide
things. You know, you have to be more. You have to offer more than that. You know, your wife. What happens when you don't have no money? You know, I always say, if we're broke and destitute and we live in a box, I should still be able to be a man for you, and you should still be able to be a woman for me, and we should still be able to be happy. You know what I mean? Because all these things that we work so hard for
can go.
At the end of the day, when all is said and done, all of it is for nothing. If you're not happy.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? If you're working so hard to build this nice house, buy this nice car, remember there's a new car every 7 months. Yeah. If you got the latest Mercedes, in 7 months' time there's another one. Right? So what are you actually chasing? You know what I mean? And a house, you can always get a bigger one, you can always get a nicer one, you can always move to a better neighborhood. That can always be done. Right? So what are all these things that we're chasing? You know, in a relationship, the only thing you should be chasing is making that person happy. And a lot of us as men say we want good women. You know what I mean?
But we don't know what a good woman is.
You don't know what a good woman is. But we should be looking for good women. We should be looking to make the woman you're with, make her happy. And the good will take care of itself. You know what I mean? If you make your woman happy, she'll run through brick walls for you. Ask your mom. You know what I'm saying? Once they're secure, emotionally, they know that you love them, they know that they're safe,
they'll do everything for you,
they do whatever for you. Women go further than we do, because they think that they're like, no, you know what I mean, they'll forgive us more than we'll forgive them. You know what I mean? Think about it. So that's what we're trying to say today. You know, we shouldn't be focused on the things that women have, and we shouldn't be intimidated by successful women. We should empower them. We should want them to be more successful. We should push them to be as successful as they can possibly be, and we should be a support system in that, because they'll do exactly the same for us. That's my opinion.
Agreed.
My brother,
wicked.
Love and respect.
Always. Thank
you so much for coming down.
Pleasure.
This was the Master in Manhood podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and wait for the next episode. Until then, blessed love.